Good evening, everyone. It is I, Sam, and I'm back for another Bronies UK video. Now, I had a thought earlier today about MLP, and this is my thought, and I would love, absolutely love, to have comments, people. I'd love to know what your opinions are. So all the bronies out there on YouTube, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this subject. So, this is my thought. Has My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, has the series outlived itself? Now, the reason I say has it outlived itself is because here's the thing. We're literally coming up to the end of season 8. And we've now been going for 8 years. Now, there are rumours that next year's season 9 is the last season, and there are other rumours that are stating it'll finish on 10 seasons, and it will be a decade. But here's my thoughts on the show as it is right now. Now, if we go all the way back to 2010, we go back to when Friendship is Magic first started, and but kind of before even the Brony fan base kind of started. But if we go back to season 1, and if we look at the show from its original roots, the overall concept of the show was this: Twilight Sparkle being sent to Ponyville on Princess Celestia's wishes to basically make some friends, because Twilight didn't have any friends. And yeah, you can throw in the fact that her friends that she makes are the elements of harmony and that they defeat Nightmare Moon, but that isn't the thing I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the show's overall goal, because effectively the show had a goal, and it had a goal for the main 6, or in general certain characters of the main 6. So if you want to break it down, if we start with Twilight, her goal when you first meet her is to make friends. By this point of season 8, she's done that. She effectively accomplished that basically by the end of season 3. In fact, technically by the end of season 1, if you really want to be accurate. So basically by now, Twilight's overall incentive for her character is no longer warranted, because she's made friends. And in a way, she is now trying to teach friendship. And as a character, she's reached that goal. So realistically, the show's main character has accomplished what she set out to do. Now, if you want to then flip things over to Rainbow Dash, because when you first meet Rainbow Dash, again, her goal is to become a Wonderbolt. She wants more than anything to become a member of the Wonderbolts. She's done that. She succeeded in doing that. And she's now been a fully fledged member of the Wonderbolt for, I believe, 3 seasons, I believe. And again, that means her character's goal is complete. Then you move on to Rarity. Now, Rarity's goal was very much, obviously she wanted to be a fashionista. She wanted to open more shops. She's done that. You know, she has at least 4 or 5 shops open now, so she's effectively starting to successfully run her own fashion empire. So again, her goal is now complete. I would say Fluttershy, whereas she didn't have a goal like the other 3 characters, I would say that as a character she has become a lot more open, a lot less shy. She's a lot more outgoing. I mean, she still holds the shyness, because that's her character, but I would say that Fluttershy's character has accomplished what the show set out for her to do. Become more confident. That has definitely started to happen. That has been happening for the last couple of seasons. And then if you look at Pinkie Pie, I really don't think there's been anything major for Pinkie Pie that I can think of, because again, her character's always kind of been the same. And then with Applejack, again, I can't really think of anything for Applejack. I mean, the only thing for Applejack that I would say that has been addressed most beautifully, I will add, is her parents. I'm really glad we got an episode where you actually got to find out about her parents. So again, I would say that that was kind of definitely addressed. And then, for a definite bigger chunk of the show, the Cutie Mark Crusaders. I mean, they've got their cutie marks in Season 5. And by this point in Season 8, their characters have more or less accomplished everything they set out to do. The only thing that the Cutie Mark Crusaders need, at least from a character point of view, is for Scootaloo to be fleshed out, because her character doesn't have any real background. She's the only character that really, out of the CMC, that needs fleshing out. But putting all that aside, as my question stands, has the show outlived itself? Has it outlasted? In a lot of ways, it has. Has it in a way, I feel like it's become a show that for at least the last, not counting the current Season 8, I'd say from about Season 5 to Season 7, it's basically been the same thing. It hasn't really developed much. Season 5 effectively finished off quite a few of the story points, and then obviously you had new characters introduced in Season 6, and you had kind of minor characters becoming more like secondary characters and becoming kind of key to later roles. But from a core perspective, MLP has reached its end game. Its point now, in a lot of ways, I would say it doesn't have a purpose anymore. At least not for the characters. I mean, there's not really been anything in Season 8 that's really been, I would say, has prolonged the show. I mean, some mild spoilers if you've not got this far, but in Season 8, mild spoilers, there is an episode that's a bit of a red herring, because you're kind of led to believe that a dragon that shows up is Spike's father, but he's not Spike's father. So, in a lot of ways, Spike is unchanged. That's so much to point out. Spike's not really changed much as a character. I mean, yes, he recently got his wings, but that's about it. And I feel like you may never find out about Spike's origins, like where his egg came from. You may never find that out, because in a lot of ways, it won't add anything to his character. And that's kind of one of the downsides of the show. They don't really add things to the characters that affect them. I mean, on a side note, Twilight becoming an alicorn and ultimately becoming a princess, becoming a member of royalty, it's never gone anywhere. She's still the same character as she was pre-Season 4. If you look at Twilight Season 3 to Twilight Season 8, she's the same character. The only real difference is she's now teaching the lessons of friendship based off her own adventures and her own learning. But as a character, as the person she is, or pony she is, she hasn't really changed a lot. Aside from obviously accepting friendship and understanding friendship for what it is, she hasn't changed a lot. You know, she's still the studiest student. She's still Celestia's prize pupil. She's still a bookworm. You know, she's still that character that loves to study and loves to try and encourage learning. But her character as the Princess of Friendship, everything she's doing right now, she could easily be doing as a unicorn. Her status as an alicorn hasn't changed her, and hasn't really given her anything that she wouldn't already have as a unicorn. So, really, I really do get the subtle impression, personally anyway, that the show has run its course. So, the question really, will there be a Season 10? Now, I think there will be, because the way I look at it, it just makes sense to have a 10th season and end it on a decade. And then we get Gen 5, whatever Gen 5 is going to be, because obviously it is happening. But in a lot of ways, you've got to ask yourself, is the show still as popular as it was, because I generally think that I mean, I know I've discussed the Brony fan base in the previous video and discussed the possibility that it is not as big as it used to be, but from a perspective, from what I've seen, and based on some Brony sites that I've been on recently, like the Brony Facebook page, for example, the primary one that I'm on, and a few of the Brony like forums, quite a few members of the fan base aren't watching the show anymore, and are just in the fan base for like artwork and fan creations and things like that. They're not really watching the show anymore. So again, you could almost say that again that might well be a bit more evidence towards the argument that the show has run its course. I mean, I do, obviously, as I said, I like the show, and I think I always will, but it just feels like we are now at an impasse. So, I'll just go and, I think I'll just go and talk about this briefly. Spoilers if you have not got to the end of Season 8 yet. If you've not got to the end of Season 8, do not watch any more of this video. Spoilers, Season 8, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Right. At the end of Season 8, it's kind of revealed that the new main six, or basically the group of students that are kind of the main focus of all the school episodes, are basically the new elements of Harmony. It's basically pretty much confirmed that's what they are. So that's led me to believe that the main six, basically Twilight, Rarity, Rainbow, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, I don't think they're the elements of. I don't think they're the wield. Well, they aren't the wielders of the elements of Harmony anymore. They gave them up to the Tree of Harmony. So I don't. Technically, they're no longer the bearers of the elements. They may well be the wielders of quote unquote the rainbow power, as to it's been dubbed. But you've only really seen that once, effectively. You've not seen it, apart from in Luna's dreams. You've only really seen it twice, but the dream doesn't count. So you've only really seen it in its power once. They've not really called upon their combined friendship power in quite a long time. So it's almost like that's become redundant. So I mean, the theory is that the new main six could well become the primary characters of Gen 5. But it's very obvious that they are the next elements, that they're going to represent the elements in some way. But back to the show. As I said, has it run its course, people? I feel like it has. I mean, not from a negative aspect. I'm not saying this like, you know, I hate the show now. I'm merely stating that the show's outrun itself. It's outlasted itself. I mean, originally there was only going to be 3 seasons, and then the reason we've got all the way up to Season 8 is because of the Brony fan base that kept it going. And yes, it is a very profitable, very profitable franchise for Hasbro. In fact, I believe MLP is making more money than Transformers is, which is saying quite a lot. And I see Season 8 does link into the 2017 film quite well, because it picks up straight after the events of the film. Whether or not we will actually see any of the characters from the film show up in Season 9 is debatable. I'd love it, but they probably won't. But it'd be nice if they did. So, to end it, because I don't want to ramble on too much, I'd love to hear your opinions, all the bronies out there. I'd love it, you know. Do you think the show has outlasted itself? And do you think that its overall concept, the concepts and its core basis of what it was based on, basically friendship, especially from Season 1, do you think it's outlived that and that's no longer relevant in the current series? Let me know. This has been Sam. Thanks for watching another Brony UK video. Peace out to you all. And please, as I said, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.